As teachers, it can be challenging to identify the cause of problems for a student with reading difficulties. We can feel helpless when the assessments we do in class do not provide specific information about the type of difficulties encountered or any intervention to favor. Hi, my name is Justine Diane-Simard, and I'm a remedial teacher at the Learning Disabilities Institute. Obviously, not all teachers can become a reading comprehension expert. That is why the key is to work hand in hand with the remedial teachers or reading specialists in your school to choose what will be effective for your student with specific needs, but also for your entire class. Following this idea, here are 3 strategies that you could initiate in your classroom. First of all, assess your class needs. At the beginning of the year, in collaboration with the reading specialist, you can use a screening assessment to reveal the weak points of your students. The reading specialist will then be able to help you narrow down which interventions to prioritize for your classroom and some more specific ones for your students with heavier troubles. These students could also benefit from extra time with the reading specialist. To achieve this, norm-referenced assessment determined by the school specialist can be very useful. Some of them may come with many tests to monitor the progress of your students following your interventions throughout the year. Teach explicit reading strategies. Once you have a better idea of your students' weaknesses, you'll be able to plan the teaching of strategies to address those problems and allow your students to progress. Explicit teaching proves to be the ideal model for this matter. The idea is to model and verbalize out loud the reflections you use to correctly practice a strategy. Then you can ask the students to reproduce the strategy in tasks that complexifies, first by being guided and then independently. The important thing is to create strategic readers out of your students. This will allow them to increase the level of comprehension while reading. To achieve this, they need to know strategies, how to use them, but also when and why to do so. Finally, plan weekly instruction for vocabulary. Understanding written words is a key factor that allows your students to understand what they are reading. A well-planned vocabulary teaching contributes to an improvement in reading skills for students with difficulties. It is recommended to choose words in advance that will be at work during the week. Choose 5 to 7 theme-related words that will be useful at school or that they have problems with. Do it regularly in varied short activities, at least 3 to 4 times a week. Look at the words under all angles. Define them explicitly, learn their many significations, use them in different contexts, and link them to the words of the same category. Work with the words outside of context, but mostly inside a context. For example, when you're doing interactive reading or when you encounter them in an exercise book. The most important thing is not the amount of words worked, but how you work with them. Go in depth. To conclude, while it can be hard to identify the specific difficulties of your students, working with the specialists of your school and with specific teaching strategies can greatly help you to better intervene for your students with specific needs, but also for your entire class.